Ooh. Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Minnie here, and this is the Timeline Update 2. Now the reason why you're getting this a day early is simply because I won't be able to work on this tomorrow. My 2 hours of working on this for today are up. If I am able to work on this tomorrow, I'll post another update, and it'll be update 2B or something like that. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. In this case, it's nothing too impressive. I'm just going to go over the basics of what I made, the majority of which you can kind of see is here. It's this wall, and it's not really a wall, of course, it's just a hillside. Mostly making sure, because the player starts here and has to run up, that the player, doesn't run over that way. And I think it looks fine, honestly. I did edit the, hold on, let me kill some people. I did edit this area a little bit, so it's a little bit wider. And if you didn't notice, things such as rocks are there now. This side has, a few different types of grass and ivy and all that. And it all kind of, snakes around the hills, and I think it looks nice. I fleshed out this a little more. So you won't be able to run up these hills here, but you will be able to run up this side. I haven't really done much with the whole bunker thing. I'll get there when I get there. Next week will probably be mostly, well, I'll be getting to the end of this area, hopefully. And when I do, it'll incorporate the bunkers that I want. Well, not really bunkers, but they're like little houses that I want to have over here that will be storing soldiers that will be respawning. But as we can see, I have this whole area set up. The blend textures, it's pretty in-depth about how far I go with those blend textures. You can see that this is still snaking on and up. These snake down at diagonal angles. I made sure that it looks decent, and I hope I've accomplished that. Kind of looks like a mudslide a little bit. I might change that to have that continue down like that. But yeah, there's not really a whole lot else to show off. This here as well, which is a small change. Getting ready for when I do end up making that other area over there. Yeah, that's really all I gotta say right now. There isn't much, more rocks there. I think there's some rocks. Oh, there's rocks there, and I think there's some rocks. Yeah, over here as well. Though I expected the water to be above it, so I might edit this area and bring this down during the next update. Who knows? Who knows what'll happen, because it's all, by the time the new week rolls around, I have new ideas. And I think that's kind of cool, is that, with Tokyo, it was a very one-track mind, because I was working on it day in and day out. Then in this one, I get to work on whatever I think is going to be good, and then come back later with a new suggestion. Now, this week I didn't really come up with any new land area besides this right here, and then this part here, in terms of walking. But I did, make sure that those cliffs and all that, and of course this one's incomplete, but the rest over there, with the exception of no X models, are done. And, the reason why I like to do that is just to get these out of the way, because these are honestly the most horrendous thing to create, because they're so polygon heavy, but they don't really have any purpose other than to sit there and box you in. The only thing that's worse than this is indoor areas, specifically detailing the ceilings, which I absolutely hate and will have to do at one point during this level. That being said, that's all I got for this update. We can go ahead and do an overview shot here of everything. And I think the overview shot this time should be from this angle. This looks good. Look at that. See, it's commonplaces. Like I said, I only worked on it 2 hours this week. Had I gotten my other 2 hours, I would have probably filled in this area here and probably expanded it out to there a little bit before probably trying to work on a bunker and failing. Such is life. Now, Next week, though, what I'm thinking of doing is, the reason why I want to set all this up is because I actually want to set up an AI encounter. But I feel like I also want to get this starting area right here done. Because, you know, I already have the whole pathway set up. Sort of. There still needs to be some bushes. I didn't edit the pathway, with exception to making that muddy rather than grassy. But I want to kind of set this up so it looks like there's a little river that goes out here. The player can run all the way out to here before stopped by, I don't know, something or another. Not quite sure. We'll see. Something that doesn't block allies, but does block the player. I'll probably just do... I don't know. We'll see. Maybe barbed wire. That would do it. Barbed wire and a player clip going one way, so the player can't get in, but the allies can run through and have them just run out of the... What I did in Tokyo is I just let the allies run straight out of the cliff. I think that'll be a good idea. Anyway, I'm thinking of having this kind of curve out and then around, and there's going to be another area over here, and it's going to curve out and kind of go up into a thing. We'll see how well this goes. I might actually, instead of having this all build up, I might have this go down and then push through, and so it'd be like two separate things, and there'd be a small stream that's running across. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I like to play with the water. The water's always interesting to me. This looks a little ugly, and I might just lower you under the water, but who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Once again, I'm not entirely finished here, and I kind of want to get the details and all that sorted out up here before I go in here and focus on the gameplay, because right now I'm just having fun building the map and not necessarily designing encounters. I'm not ready for the stress of that yet. So yeah, that's a thing. The idea for the encounter that I have is pretty simple. These guys would run up and around to here and then start shooting. After about 5 or 6 seconds, they spawn and then they run out. And so, you know, one would probably end up behind there, and the other two would spread out, you know, between this area. And then give it 2 or 3 more seconds of clearing out. By the time you moved up here, you've got enemies running down here, and then there'll be a larger fight. You'll have 4 allies, I'm thinking 6 enemies at a time. Until, of course, you kick their asses, and what's going to be happening is there will be a second enemy set spawning behind them, and they're just going to chill there and probably push up. Who knows? It depends on what the World at War AI like to do. But they'll be chilling back there, shooting, and then when you clear that out, it'll still feel like you're under fire, but you can move up and start getting the jump on that set. And then that's when another set of AI will spawn behind them, so on and so forth. Eventually what's going to happen is it's going to turn out that you'll have 8 AI when you're pushing up this area. Ally, you know, helping you. This is supposed to be a pretty short level, but it might turn out to be a lot longer. I'll see. Who knows what'll happen. Anyway, that's all I got for this update. Once again, if you want to contribute to this project at all, it's really simple. Just leave a comment, message me. We can talk about it. All you would need to do is design a map. You wouldn't necessarily have to design encounters or anything for it. Just make a map, any kind. Because this is going to be all over the place. And it's going to be sort of a long form, almost like, I don't want to call it an art project, but it's not going to be an orthodox sort of mod. And some levels are, of course, going to be longer or shorter than others. Who knows, next week I might actually start up a whole new map and work on that one instead. You never know. That being said, that's really all I got. Thank you for watching. Once again, if you want to contribute, let me know. Yeah, that's all I got. Thank you, and goodbye.